Welcome back. We are now in the Ebon Vanguard section of Eye of the North, which we will be beginning with against the Charr. Here I have my monk, much like my necro. I have not really played it that much. I was actually very surprised to see it has Razah. I don't remember doing Nightfall in this one, but we take those. So, in terms of my build, I am running a standard Unyielding Aura build. Not anything really interesting here. I mostly have this monk for 55 monk shenanigans, just to have one, but I am not using that in this mission. It will get absolutely destroyed by any Charr dominators, so it is not remotely worth it. So, turns to my group here. This time Razah serves as my soul twist as opposed to Xandra, but Xandra, I have her running a more aggressive version of a Signet of Spirits build, since I will be serving as kind of a second healer. Full disclaimer, I am a terrible healer, so we're going to see how this goes. I suffer from heavy analysis paralysis, so may not end up going too well. We have Olias this time, since I don't have Livia as my blood is power. And then rest are kind of what you would expect here. I debated running water magic, but since we know Charr don't take increased damage from water magic anymore, that's not going to happen. But yeah, like literally, I have not gone in this direction whatsoever. When trying to figure out what, I literally just ran him from Gunner's Hold out to Long Eyes today. So he has done next to nothing in this area. I'm actually surprised I even have Grothmar. Well, whatever. So anyways, my choices were either I ran him all the way up to Sif Hala, all the way out to either Gad's Encampment or Radasum, or I just go to Long Eyes Ledge. Much easier option was Long Eyes Ledge. Alright, let's roll. So if you have it, you will want to display your Ebon Vanguard title for pretty much the entirety of all three of these Ebon Vanguard missions. However, I do not have that, so we're just going to have to make do. Let's get Unyielding Aura on myself. So if you do this just right, you can avoid engaging pretty much all of the enemies. So the mission itself tells you to find the fate of the Ebon Vanguard. There's a couple different things you can interact with, tattered cloths and such that are scattered around this side. So yeah, old campfire there. But if you know where to go, you can just run straight there. This will be my first time doing the mission on this guy, and in hard mode no less. This will be very fun. Yeah, you make your way down to the Vanguard helmet. Let's see, some dervishes and an Ellie. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. Yes, examine the helmet. There we go. I skipped it. So yeah, just like that, you got to skip all the enemies, and here we are on the mission. So now Charr calling, they want to attack. So we got Fire Rainer, we got some Dominators. I'm going to see if they split. I don't want to fight two groups of 3 at once for my first battle here. They're not really splitting. Kinda are. I never knew you could just go around them. I've never tried that before. I usually just straight up fight them. Interesting! We take those. At some point, though, we will have to kill some Fire Rainers. Whenever you kill them, they drop a Charr explosive, which we will be taking full advantage of. I plan to... let's see. The Charr can have pretty wide patrol routes, so you always have to keep an eye out for them. Alright, let's interrupt both of those. We have a Meteor Shower. Let's get some heals going. That was the best opening I've ever done on my monk. Not even kidding. So these Charr explosives here, you're going to have to drop them at various locations. There are a total of 7 places you will use them. 5. The caravan here, the watchtower, the 2 watchtowers, and the 2 siege devourers. If you are a melee class, I would highly recommend you just straight sprint for all of the places where you can use them, because dropping them will waste them. However, the supply caravan here, they're kind enough to make it so this ammo cart has an unlimited supply of explosives. So really, you only need the first one. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Drop this. Did I mess it up? I may have messed it up. Alright. Oh, Olias got murked somewhere along the way. This is what I mean by suffering from analysis paralysis. If I had done a half decent job healing, I probably could have prevented most of these deaths. Instead, I was too focused waiting for a meteor shower that it freed up the ranger there to just completely annihilate my group. Yeah, it's very important as a monk to, or just any healer, you know all your skills at a glance. So I know my 1 skill removes my hexes, 2 heals other people, 3 and 4 heal my entire party, and then 5 is the single heal. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go without a weapon, or without a explosive for now. Alright, Dominator is our top priority here, although we're not going to let that group sneak in on us. Let's take out the Fire Rainer group back here first. Oh, looks like we're going to be dealing with 2 groups. Okay, cast Meteor Shower. Let's step you out of there. Didn't mean to cast Cure Hex, but whatever. It's working. Alright, so we've got 2 explosives now that we will be using on the Siege Devourer up there and the Watchtower here. You don't technically need to do this. What you are doing with weakening the garrison is you are having less enemies that you have to deal with at the end. Technically, if your group is absolutely broken, cracked out of their minds, you can just skip that and be on your way. Alright, there we go. This is going much smoother. Alright. But yeah, long story short, if this is not enough evidence, never bring me in as your healer if you ever find me out in the wild. It will not end well. I could probably do Soul Twist. I can do Soul Twist, I can do Imba. But if you're having me do a BIP or a UA monk, it's not going to end well. Especially a BIP. I don't even know if my Necro is even able to do a BIP build. Let's cure that backfire off of you. No reses for you. Okay, backfire didn't cast. Perfect. Alright, so with the Charr explosive for the Watchtower, I forgot to mention it specifically, you have to drop it in front of those rocks by the opening. You can't just drop it somewhere near the Watchtower, and you'll see that where it could happen with the other one. Siege Devourer, you just walk up to it and interact with it, and it'll automatically take it. Let's see. There we go. Attack goes off, and we are on our way. Now we can break our way down south here. Yeah, against the Charr is a pretty quick mission. You just go, hit the 5 spots, go into the Charr camp, call it a day. Or if you're absolutely crazy, you can just run straight in, but you're passing most of these objectives anyways if you want the least amount of fights. So you may as well hit them while you're on the way. Alright, once again, we're going to have a Dominator here. Oops. Well, there goes Soul Twist. Your Hex off of me. Alright, 2 Fire Rainers. Perfect. So yeah, if you drop the bomb here, it will not work. You have to drop the bombs where this formation is. Alright, let's roll. No. Alright, this time I did much better fighting multiple Fire Rainers. Okay. Now we've got Fraser Frostfur out here. None of the guys are really that big of a threat. You just need to make sure you have a half-decent healer, and it usually goes pretty well. So, you know, someone who's not me. Alright, cast that. Okay. Now that that's done, first up we put this explosive on the Devourer, and then we'll take the other one and stick it on the tower. See if we can get a view of how many enemies these take out. So let's see here. So 3, 6, about 10 there. We'll see if taking out the Watchtower gets rid of any of them. I know for a fact the Siege Devourer does. There we go. Oh, look! The enemies that were all gathered here, there's all of a sudden a little bit fewer of them. Now we're looking at only 8, and they're not all gathered up, too. Much more manageable. Let's deal with the Seeker first. I don't know why I don't have the Poisonous Nevermore Flatbow, but whatever. No Troll Ungent, please. Okay. Ooh, that's nasty. Looks like the group will be able to hold off until we have to deal with them. Alright, 2 Flame Shielders. Alright, there's a Fire Rainer, but I still want to keep an eye out for potential meteor showers. One's interrupted. And let's get the other one. No Aegis, please. There we go. Now all that's left is Harvest Soul Rain and Gordom Griefgiver. It's weird, there's nobody in those cells. It's almost like they don't want to spoil a surprise. What surprise, you ask? Well, play the game yourself, because I'm skipping cutscenes. These are not for spoilers, these are for learning. So, that mission's done. I personally will have to take this mission and get myself out to Doomlore, but we're not doing that as part of this video. We're just showing the actual missions themselves for when you need to, because you don't technically need to do this one in hard mode, and I don't want to embarrass myself any further with my monk. So next up will be Warband of Brothers, which I will be running on my Mesmer. So as always, hope these videos are helpful, and we'll see you for the next one.